This is the GSI Gemini. It's a bitimbral dual DSP processor capable of making all the bread and butter sounds that every keyboard player needs, with its sample playback, physical modeling engines, and virtual analog synthesis. By default, the two processors are addressed on separate MIDI channels. And though you can change the settings so that both units can be controlled on the same MIDI channel, I think you'll find that the most effective way to utilize the twins is to keep them separated, or else whatever changes you make to DSP1 will also have an effect on DSP2. And in most situations, that is the least desirable mode of operations. On the rear panel, we find two 5-pin MIDI in ports, so that the two processors can be conveniently addressed by two separate MIDI controllers. But for those MIDI controllers that can transmit on two MIDI channels simultaneously, only one MIDI in port need be used. I'll show you an example of this in a minute, but first let me introduce you to the Viscount Legend 70s modular keyboard. It sports much of the same sounds the Gemini can generate, from sparkling acoustic pianos, gritty electric pianos, subtractive synthesis, pipe organ, So while it may not be entirely logical to own both because of the overlap in sounds, the Gemini can be a useful backup, and specializes in a few areas where the Viscount does not. Take for example the string machine. Here on the sound collection module, the Viscount offers a few variations of the Selena type sounds with limited controls. Out of the 15 or so available engines, the Gemini boasts an entire engine dedicated to this Selena-type sound. Perhaps in the future we might see a string machine module for the Legend 70 system, not unlike the 3U Selena module teased by Behringer. Thanks to the Viscount's external module, we have a kind of working hardware solution here. With these three endless rotaries mapped to the same CC values of the Gemini, we're able to control any parameter of our choosing. Let's take a step back for a moment and get this set up properly. First, we assign the port. While USB MIDI can absolutely be used between the Viscount and the Gemini, good old MIDI DIN is the best choice, mostly because my USB ports are often used for computer purposes, like using a software editor. So if you've got the MIDI out from the Viscount connected to the MIDI in of the Gemini, this choice, MID, is the appropriate selection that stands for MIDI instead of USB. Then we assign the channel. At this point, we should hear sound when pressing keys. But did you notice the external module is also bitimbral? Pressing the 2 button allows us access to the second DSP of the Gemini, so that we can play both engines layered or split. While the inclusion of the pitch and mod wheels was bemoaned by some forum goers, laughing at the awkward placement and questioning the need, every keyboard controller needs these wheels, and I'm thrilled that they're included. This way we can make full use of all the sound engines that respond to pitch and mod wheel. But what about Aftertouch? The Legend 70s is not equipped with the traditional Aftertouch we so value in our hardware synths as a modulation source. But even there, the Viscount has you covered. We can still make use of the Aftertouch by routing one of the 2 expression pedals to transmit Aftertouch information. So there you have it, the perfect dual sound module and the perfect controller for it. What are you waiting for? Go make some music.